In this presentation today, I'm going to discuss how imposter syndrome can affect many traders. We'll explore how it leads to self-doubt, hesitation, and even self-sabotage. You'll learn how to recognize these destructive patterns and replace them with confidence, building strategies, allowing you to trade with clarity, trust, and resilience. I strongly recommend that you watch this presentation until the end because it's very valuable for every trader and it's going to help you increase confidence, self-belief, and self-worth. So grab a warm drink and pen and paper and let's swiftly move into this presentation today. The title is The Effects Imposter Syndrome Can Have on Traders. Even the most successful traders can really struggle with confidence and even imposter syndrome over time. Are you one of them? Imposter syndrome can affect confidence and prevent traders from reaching their full potential. I'm going to help you identify the signs of imposter syndrome. I'm going to help you to understand its roots and learn practical tools to overcome it. Now, developing self-awareness and shifting your mindset is really going to help you build the confidence you need to trust your skills and excel in your journey. So let's now talk about what imposter syndrome is and how it can affect traders and trading performance, because it's probably more common than you think. Now, as traders, you operate in a world where success and failure is black and white. When the pressure to perform is present, it's common to experience a sense of self-doubt. Have you ever found yourself questioning whether your trading wins are due to lack of or skill? Or perhaps you've hesitated to celebrate your achievements, now fearing really that you don't truly deserve them. If so, you may be experiencing imposter syndrome. Now, imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where individuals doubt their abilities. They feel undeserving of success and they often fear being exposed as a fraud, even when evidence proves otherwise. Now, for traders, this can be particularly damaging because we already know that the markets are uncertain, can be volatile, and adding a layer of self-doubt on top of that can really affect your performance and even your mental well-being. Now, let's break this down. As traders, each trade requires analysis and emotional control. But when imposter syndrome creeps in, it can really negatively affect the trust you have in your skills and processes. And I'm sure you've experienced this, all of you, at some point in your trading journey. So this means that you really may second guess your strategy or overcompensate by taking unnecessary risks to prove your worth. Now, over time, this can lead to a cycle of inconsistency and self-doubt. Imposter syndrome can actually amplify during moments of success. Yes, you've heard it right, success. A lot of traders reach a point where they're consistent, they're profitable, they're seeing success and good results, and then the imposter syndrome can come in. Many traders believe they're only as good as their last trade. So when they achieve a string of wins, instead of feeling accomplished, they may feel an overwhelming fear of being found out. Now, this self-doubt can be paralyzing and it can make you overly cautious, or worse, causing you to abandon a really good strategy altogether. But let me reassure you, imposter syndrome is common and it doesn't have to control your trading journey and mindset. So the first thing is to recognizing it is the first step to breaking free. Reflect on your trading history. Are you seeing patterns of improvement, learning, and resilience? Now, these are the hallmarks of a trader who deserves to be in the game. If you're showing commitment, consistent improvement, you absolutely deserve this. The key to overcoming imposter syndrome is to detach your sense of self-worth from individual trading outcomes. Instead, focus on the process and growth and demonstrate this daily. Now, trading is challenging enough with the added burden of self-doubt. So next we're going to talk about how you can start taking steps to overcoming imposter syndrome. And I really highly recommend that you take some notes here. And yes, it's absolutely possible to overcome this. So now, overcoming imposter syndrome. Confidence is one of your most valuable assets in trading. It's so important. But of course, it is important to have that right level of confidence where you're not overconfident. Yet for many of you, there's a quiet battle happening behind the scenes in your mind. It's that feeling that you don't truly deserve your successes, that somehow you're just getting lucky. and that it's only a matter of time before things turn bad. Now, again, this is very common, but it's time to change this. This doubt is what we call imposter syndrome, and it's more common than we think. Now, especially in this digital world of social media and noise, it can feel very overwhelming. Imposter syndrome feeds on self-doubt. And this means it makes you question your abilities even when you've done the hard work and executed a trade really well. It's that kind of chimp mind that you've got, that we've all got, saying to you that you don't belong in the same league as other traders, and that your losses are proof that you're not good enough. But let me tell you something, these thoughts are not the truth. They're just stories your mind is telling you. You are in control of your thoughts. You have the power to rewrite them. The first step in overcoming imposter syndrome is recognizing it exactly for what it is. It's not a reflection of your actual abilities or potential. It's simply a pattern of thinking that's been triggered, perhaps by pressures of trading, by the need to succeed in a competitive space, or even by being a perfectionist. Now, becoming aware of these patterns is really critical because it allows you to pause, reflect, and choose a completely different narrative. One of the most effective ways to build confidence and silence the imposter in your head is to focus on your journey as a trader, not just the outcomes of each individual trade. Now, success isn't defined by a single winning trade or even a winning streak. It's about showing up consistently. It's about learning from your mistakes and improving over time. So I suggest start keeping track of your progress, not just in numbers, not just in skills, but in discipline and mindset shifts. Every time you make a decision rooted in your trading plan, rather than fear, you are winning, you're progressing. You also need to remind yourself that no trader, no matter how experienced, is immune to losses. Losses don't make you a failure. They're part of the process. What sets confident traders apart is their ability to view losses as valuable feedback, as growth. Now, remember, the market is a teacher, it's not a judge. You deserve to be here. And with each trade, you're strengthening your edge, not just in strategies, but in self-belief. When you step into your confidence, you'll trade not from a place of fear, but from a place of trust in yourself. And that is your true edge. So just to reinforce on this, one of the most powerful shifts you can make as a trader is learning to detach your sense of self-worth from individual trades. Too often we define ourselves by the results of trades. If we win, we feel good. If we lose, it's that easy spiral into self-doubt and criticism. This is a dangerous cycle, and it's exactly what imposter syndrome thrives on. Now, to truly build confidence, you need to shift your mindset. You need to recognize that your worth isn't tied to one single trade. Think about it. Success in trading isn't about perfection. It's about good, consistent performance. When you focus on the process rather than on proving yourself or avoiding mistakes, you free yourself from the pressure that fuels imposter syndrome. Now, instead of viewing every loss as a confirmation of your inadequacy, you can see it as part of the natural ebb and flow of trading. Now, a huge part of overcoming imposter syndrome is learning to trust the work you've put in, because I'm sure you've all worked really hard. I want you to reflect on how far you have come as a trader. You didn't just wake up one day with a complete understanding of the markets. Now, you've studied, you've practiced, you've learned from your mistakes, and you've developed a strategy that works for you. Every trade, every win or loss is a step in the right direction because you're becoming wiser, stronger, and you're growing. Now, when you start seeing yourself as a work in progress, you're going to allow room for growth without the pressure of needing to be right all of the time. This is where true confidence is built. Now, it's not in a place of arrogance or ego. It comes from a place of self-awareness. You're not just a trader, you're someone on a journey of continuous improvement and mastering within. When you let go of the unrealistic expectations that come with imposter syndrome, you really are going to start to feel a greater sense of freedom and peace in your trading. Remember, it's time to step into your full potential. It's time for you to embrace the trader you're meant to be. And I'm here to support you every step of the way. So let's dive into saying goodbye to imposter syndrome. If you think you're not good enough, the market will prove you right. We know that success is built on discipline, skill, and a keen understanding of the markets. If you're experiencing imposter syndrome, know that you're not alone, and more importantly, is something that you can actually overcome. Now, imposter syndrome is quite sneaky. It can really sneak up on even the most experienced traders. It's that kind of chimp mind that comes in and says, no, you can't do this. You're not good enough. Now, whether you're new to trading or you've been trading for years, that sense of self-doubt can really affect your judgment and decision making. You may find yourself questioning every trade. You may even feel very unworthy of the gains you've made, or thinking that your mistakes are the proof that you're not good enough. Here's the truth. Imposter syndrome is not a reflection of your abilities. It's simply a mindset that is being conditioned by fear and uncertainty. So, saying goodbye to this is essential for your growth as a trader. Again, the first step is to recognize that it's not your skill or knowledge that's lacking, it's your belief in yourself. Even the most successful traders have their ups and downs. It's part and parcel of life and trading. Now, what makes them successful isn't perfection, but the ability to learn from losses. You have everything you need to succeed already. Your experience, your strategies, and your dedication have brought you here this far. But what really makes a difference is your mindset. Now, to break free from imposter syndrome, you're going to have to shift from a mindset of doubt and fear to one of acceptance and confidence. Now, tips, techniques, and a mindset shift. With the right mindset shift and practical techniques, you're going to overcome this imposter syndrome. Let's explore how to challenge and remove this altogether. So the first thing is to acknowledge and understand imposter syndrome, to really recognize that you are experiencing it. Now, often imposter syndrome manifests, as we know, as self-doubt or a fear of being exposed as a fraud, feeling that you don't belong, that you're not good enough. It's important to realize that these feelings are normal and you're not alone in having them. Start by identifying when imposter syndrome is creeping in. Are you hesitating to trade because you doubt your strategy? Are you brushing off your wins as saying, that was just luck? Now, write down these thoughts because it's really going to help them to get them out of your head and begin to challenge these thoughts and shift them. The next one is really shift your focus from the outcome to the process. And traders should do this anyway. A key to overcoming this is really stepping away from the outcome, the attachment, the expectation. When you base your self-worth on whether you win or lose a trade, you're more likely to experience emotional highs and lows that really, really amplify this self-doubt. So instead of asking, did I win this trade? Ask, did I follow my plan? Did I execute my strategy with discipline? That's what's important. Your value as a trader lies in your commitment to the process, not the immediate results. So a tip is create a trading checklist or a process journal. This means after each trade, write down how well you stuck to your plan, the emotional state that you were in, and what you can improve on next time. This helps to separate your self-worth from your results and reinforces that consistency and discipline more than any single trade. So one of the things that I like to teach traders is self-compassion, because too many traders can be self-critical. So self-compassion is really essential, and it's going to help you overcome imposter syndrome faster than you realize. If you're hard on yourself after a loss or mistake, you're going to feed the negative mindset that you're not good enough, that you're not deserving, that you're a failure. On the other hand, if you practice self-compassion, you can really start to acknowledge mistakes, learn from them, become your biggest supporter, and move forward without diminishing your confidence. So here's a tip. When you make a mistake or take a loss, instead of being hard on yourself, treat yourself with kindness. Ask yourself this question: what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Remind yourself that trading is a long-term journey and no one is perfect, and it's continuous improvement. So my suggestion is use a thought journal. When you catch yourself thinking that you're a fraud or doubting your abilities, write down the thought, then challenge it. Is there evidence to support this thought? Can you think of instances where you've succeeded? This practice helps you to break the cycle of negative thinking, and it really starts to reinforce your strengths. So let's talk about these techniques, visualization and affirmations. Now, in many video presentations, I have spoken about these techniques, and for very good reason, because they are very effective for traders. In fact, for anyone. So visualization, as I'm sure you're aware, is a technique where you mentally rehearse your desired outcomes and actions. It helps to boost your confidence and reprogram your mindset to focus on success rather than failure. So my suggestion is I want you to spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself making confident, calm trading decisions. I want you to imagine yourself executing trades, feeling calm and composed. Now, this practice will help your mind shift away from fear towards a more positive, confident mindset. And I promise you, this is about consistency. When you start to do this consistently, you will start to feel different. You'll start to think different. You'll start to take different actions. It is so effective. So alongside visualization, you can create affirmations. Now, these reinforce your competence and self-worth. So, for example, I am a skilled and disciplined trader, or I trust my process and believe in my decisions. Repeat these affirmations every single day, and even every morning to start your day with a mindset that supports your goals and aligns with your journey. Now, let's talk about embracing the journey and celebrating your progress, no matter how big or small. So, imposter syndrome really thrives when you constantly compare yourself to others. It's important to remember that every trader's journey is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all, say, path to success. So, social media can be a hindrance in a way. So, basically, there's a lot of positives about social media, but it can also be a place where you compare yourself to others, you don't feel good enough. So just be mindful of this. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on progress. I want you to really just be aware and mindful and celebrate those victories. So even if you've stuck to your plan for that day, celebrate that outside of trading. Write that down. And over time, as you start to see these achievements, it's really going to reinforce your progress. Another thing is to add to this, you can keep a progress journal as well as a thought journal. This is where you write down your improvements and the lessons you've learned. Reviewing this journal regularly is going to remind you how far you've come and help shift your mindset from doubt to being proud. So the next technique and practice that can help is mindfulness and emotional control. Now, of course, I talk again a lot about mindfulness and meditation. This is because they can have a huge impact, positive impact in our lives. Now, mindfulness techniques can help you to stay present. They really reduce anxiety. They help you to balance your emotions and keep them in check. Now, so when you're able to remain calm and focused, you'll be less likely to fall into that trap of self-doubt. You're more aware. So if you're not practicing these techniques, then I challenge you to do 7 days of meditation. I promise this will help you center your thoughts and calm your emotions and body. Start today by taking small steps to change your mindset and reinforce your beliefs in your abilities. Now, the more you practice these techniques, the more confident you're going to become, and the better your trading results will follow. So one of the areas that I think is really important to discuss now is social media. Social media and the effects it has on traders and why it can cause imposter syndrome. So we've all been there. I've done it myself personally where I've scrolled through accounts. This is many years ago. And you start to compare sometimes your life to others, your journey, how far you've come. So it's easy for it to creep in. Now, social media has been a very integral part of our daily lives, especially for traders. Whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, traders all over the world are sharing their insights, strategies, success stories. It can feel really overwhelming. Now, while these platforms can be valuable for learning and connecting with others, they also come with a darker side, shall we say, that can significantly impact your mindset and confidence. Now, social media can easily contribute to feelings of self-doubt and imposter syndrome, especially when comparing your journey to others. Now, the first issue that arises from social media is the presentation of a perfect, effortless trading lifestyle. This just doesn't happen. Most of the time, traders post only their best moments, those huge wins, and pictures of a great lifestyle. Now, what you rarely see are the struggles, the losses, or the times when their trading strategies failed. And remember, just be mindful that not everything on social media is what you see. So it can really provide an illusion of perfection that is far from the reality of trading. When you constantly see success stories and image of large profits, it can really make you feel like everyone else is doing better than you. This is not the case. It's easy to compare yourself to others, which can cause you to question your abilities. Now, these comparisons are dangerous because they do not represent the full, authentic picture of what trading is actually like. Imposter syndrome feeds directly into comparing yourself with others. Social media encourages this. Now, when you see others posting about the big wins, it's natural to feel that you're not measuring up, particularly if you're experiencing a period of losses. You might think, why aren't I achieving those same results? What am I doing wrong? Or even worse, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. The truth is, comparing your behind the scenes reality with somebody else's highlights is a setup for failure. Now, each trader has their own journey. It's shaped by their own experiences, risk tolerance, strategies. The wins that are shared online often omit the years of work and failures that have preceded them. But yet these posts often make it seem like success should come easily. It's not true. It's important to remind yourself that trading is a long-term journey and everyone moves at their own pace. Social media also creates this sense of urgency and pressure to succeed quickly. Sometimes you see on there, that you can join and have this strategy that's going to get you instant results. No, we know that trading is mainly about psychology and it's about having the right mindset. So when you constantly compare yourself to others, you risk abandoning your strategy. You start to have this sense of urgency. So my suggestion is really start to reduce screen time and really being mindful about the accounts that you're following. So how can you protect yourself from the negative effects of social media and imposter syndrome? Now, the first step is limit your exposure. What do I mean by this? Well, start by reducing the amount of time you spend scrolling through social media. The first thing is it can be exhausting and overwhelming without the other effects. So if you're looking for inspiration or motivation, schedule specific times during the day. Be really strong about this. Create boundaries to ensure that you're not consuming content that triggers feelings of you feeling inadequate. Now, if you find that certain accounts or posts are making you feel worse about your trading, don't hesitate to unfollow them. Your feed is an essential part of protecting your mental health. So try to follow accounts that focus on education and good, community support rather than just success stories. Look for the traders who are really open and honest about their struggles and setbacks. This is going to help you to know that you're not on your own as a trader and that trading is challenging. Now, social media can be a powerful tool for learning and connecting, but it can also really amplify imposter syndrome. The key to protecting yourself is to limit exposure, be mindful about what you're looking at and watching, and focusing on your own personal journey. Remember, trading is a long-term journey, as we know. It's not about instant results, but it's about continuous improvement and discipline. Shift your mindset now and be kind to yourself because you can overcome imposter syndrome and find the confidence you need to achieve anything. So I want to thank you for your time today. I hope you've really found value in this. And I just want you to be reassured that you're not alone. Imposter syndrome is highly, highly common, not just for traders, but for a lot of people in this world. So overcoming imposter syndrome and managing the influence of social media in trading is not an overnight process. It takes time. It's something you must actively work on each day, but I promise you it's well worth the effort. Now, please remember, be kind to yourself. Self-compassion is one of the most powerful tools you can use to combat syndrome or imposter syndrome. Recognize that mistakes are part of the learning process And every setback is always an opportunity for growth. Trust your journey, believe in your process, and remember, you have everything you need to succeed. Thank you for your time today. I'm confident that you now have the tools and mindset to really tackle and challenge imposter syndrome head on and move towards greater success in your journey.